Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the first episode of a great series that I'm going to be able to do to decompress, get my podcast vibe in here in the studio. And it is the Brandon Reyes podcast. It's my name because it's going to be just anything that's on the top of my head in my mental space at the moment. I'm not going to think about it too much, just going to go ahead and get some takes out and get it going on. This podcast is graciously sponsored by John Reyes Wrestling, getting us in the gym and fit. But it's up to me, really. But, John Reyes Wrestling, where lifting heavy objects and people is mandatory. So that's what it comes down to. John Reyes Wrestling really did sponsor this, made it happen. Thanks for tuning into the first episode. So I'm going to keep these with that post-gym energy. You'll just kind of decompress from the gym and from doing some heavy lifting and really getting some stuff done. It was a great lift. Everything went pretty good for the most part. And I thought it would be a great time to go ahead and hit it on the air and get some podcast type feel going. So I'm going to make these super long to begin with, but eventually as I get ways to discuss different topics and kind of do different things, I imagine naturally and organically they'll get, to a place where they're a little bit more long-winded and it would be reasonable to record a longer episode and all that. So for now, we'll keep them kind of short. So I was just thinking about everything during the sets, and I'm really starting to enjoy getting in there and getting after the weights and kind of having that kind of confidence and head above the matter type level of going about it. So I'm just sharing that, and I think it's good. It's a good mentality. Obviously, sometimes you're gonna feel it more than others, but I think so far I'm really enjoying it, and I'm getting a lot out of it. And then it's just awesome because when you lift, you're doing what you need to get everything in your body right. But the energy that comes out of it at the end, when you go on to your next thing, such as me just sitting down here to record this little podcast episode and just kind of talking to the mic. And when I catch myself kind of winding on or winding on, should I say, and speaking a little too fast, pulling the energy back and just kind of enjoying the flow coming out from the lift. My energy was already graciously expended during that. So now is the time to expend energy again if I desire to, but maybe at a slightly different pace. And that discipline and that growth is where the real power, I think, is in this whole thing of fitness and this journey of getting your mind right using physical fitness and stuff. So I think that's something that maybe some people could learn from. One of the prompts that I had here from my scripting when I was researching and doing my scripting for this episode says, like, as you head back into the real world, like to kind of think of those things and describe that kind of feeling or speak from that perspective. And the gym, when you're there lifting and everything, it very much so is a real world as well. But the real world also, from what the prompt is saying, is like when you go back and now you're sitting with the tasks and the things that you're trying to use that momentum and that energy from the gym to push through, how you're handling yourself and your mentality and everything through that. So I think that's really important to take with me as I move forward in this and everything, but now I honestly comes not the hard, I don't want to say the hard part, but now after you get out, it's so important. Nutrition, getting everything back into your body that you need to continue moving on. And that includes the rest factor too, because, obviously rest is where your muscle and your body is building. And the lifting is just like all the old heads say, the lifting is what stimulates the body to grow. The rest is what actually recovers and builds the muscle and builds the tissues. So that's super important, that you're resting just as good as you're lifting. If you take your lifting seriously and you're in the gym really going hard, exerting yourself, really cracking down on the work that you're trying to do, but you don't take your recovery seriously and what you do outside of the gym seriously, then, needless to say, it's a real vain effort and you're really working against yourself. It's one or the other. You either want the best or you don't, and that's really what it comes down to. And the gym will teach you that very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. So that's the kind of the feel. Like, this isn't necessarily like a gym podcast. This is kind of like I'm going to shoot an episode really kind of whenever I feel like it. I don't want to commit to anything daily or commit to anything even weekly as of now. I definitely imagine I would shoot this, having this in my production grid. I would shoot definitely at least one of these every week, or maybe even a few, when I get that post-gym inspiration to talk about the lift and talk about kind of the motion forward. But not disclosing anything too personal or too crazy journey-wise in the first episode. In the light of that, keeping it toned back, keeping the energy toned back, keeping it very vibey and hopefully the people that listen and tune in get something out of the energy that I'm giving back out. Hopefully that's what really sells this series that I'm working on here. And of course it's going to spread out to other areas too. And, I'll do podcasts about other things and all that. But this is going to be a good start, just to decompress, just me to be me, and talk about what I'm feeling, what I'm kind of going through, and what might or might not be relevant at the time. So just a quick little shot to put up a little bit of talk, and hopefully me just explaining about what I'm thinking and kind of the things that I'm channeling through. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of some peace in your journey too. So again, I'll be recording these kind of whenever I feel like it, but hopefully you like it. And if you're on your way to do something and you need a little bit of peace, or you're just after your workout and you want to hear somebody else's experience, hopefully this podcast and this little space is a good space to do that for my future fans and guests that are going to consume this podcast. So I don't have much else to topic about, really. I could swing topic right there, switch over to the next thing, pop some other prompt into AI. But you know what? In the spirit of not doing a 30-minute right off the bat, I'll keep it at about 6 here. Thanks for watching the Brandon Reyes podcast. I look forward to doing this mic work again very soon. Heck, there might be days where I have a couple different things to talk about, so I film a couple episodes. There might be days where I don't feel like filming for it, but I think keeping it organic in that way will create a value all in itself. And of course, there'll be other consistent and more based and varied content all sprinkled in between this too. So thanks, guys, for watching. I'm going to close it out with that. And hopefully this just becomes a small part of a really great big piece of a puzzle. And hopefully that puzzle displays an image that helps people. The Brandon Reyes podcast. Thanks for watching.